Hello, bookish friends. It's Ivy Reads with another book review. Today I'm going to be reviewing To Kill a Shadow by Katherine Quinn. This is the Owlcrate exclusive version, which has a reverse color dust jacket from the standard version, as well as a foiled hardcover. Here it says A City in Lore, A Tale of the Gods, which is basically their book of scripture and lore for the gods of their world, and it is quoted at the beginning of every chapter. On the back here, it says, "No one could kill a shadow," and spoiler, that is also the last line of the book, which is pretty awesome. Here are our main characters, Kiara and Captain Jude Maddox, also known as the Hand of Death. Here they are again in the back. He is blind in one eye, which is why it's white here. And then, so I'll put that there. And then on the inside of our dust jacket, you get an idea of the mists in the forest, the forbidden forest that the knights must venture into. It's all dark and gloomy. Very nice. This is a YA paranormal romance book. And I definitely would say it is more for a young adult audience. It's very much, I mean, they act like the youths that they are. And so older readers may struggle with that aspect. I would give this book 4 out of 5 stars. I was very entertained from beginning to end. I liked the world. I didn't I wouldn't say I was totally enthralled with the characters themselves, Kiara and Jude, but I liked the situations they were in, and I liked the world itself. So I didn't mind that I didn't necessarily connect or relate to the characters much. Um, so there's that. So the big problem in this world that needs to be solved is that the sun has not shone in 50 years. It is a world that is eternally cast in night. And the sun goddess has disappeared, and while reading the book of lore, we do find out why. Most people I don't think most people know. Um, and so Captain Jude Maddox is the captain of the Knights of the Eternal Star, I believe it's called. Yep, Knights of the Eternal Star. And he serves the king, and the king uh, basically likes sending him on assassination missions, which is why he's the Hand of Death. The king is a bad guy. Heads up. Jude doesn't like him, but we don't really see any of him in this book, but I think we will in the next book. I thought it was a standalone. It's actually, I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or a duology, but the next one's coming out in December of this year, which is 2024 for anyone watching this later than that. So the goal of the Knights of the Eternal Star is to restore the sunlight, because people are running out of food and ways to farm and whatnot with all the darkness, which I'm going to say they've lasted 50 years because of magic, because without sunlight they should have run out a lot sooner. Kiara is a girl in a podunk village like any other, and she is ostracized by everyone in the village, although we don't find out until the very end of the book why that is. We know that she has scars on her hands, that she keeps hidden by wearing gloves always, and that those scars are associated with the event that made her an outcast and pariah in her town. So Jude comes on a recruitment tour, I guess, getting more recruits for the Knights of the Eternal Star. I believe it's mandatory conscription for sons, and her brother has like asthma or something, and so he has a lot of asthma attacks, and so she knows that if he goes, he will die, and almost all the knights die. It's so it's a very sad thing to be taken for the Knights because you probably won't come back. Jude, Captain Jude, is the only one of like their age who has gone into the forest in the mists and come back out alive. And again, we don't really find out why until later. But pretty much everyone who goes into the mists of the forest to try and find the sun, for lack of a better phrase, they die. Um, so she sees one of the recruits. I mean, he's not a recruit yet, but he will be recruited. Bullying her brother, and basically in front of the captain and the entire town, she just tackles him and attacks him. Side note, she's trained by her uncle Micah as a really kick-a fighter who could rival any of the trained knights. Like, he trained her hardcore to the point where she said to the point of being abusive. Um, but that she still loved him, so it was okay or something like that. Anyway, which at the time I found really strange. Why only train Jude? Why not train, or not Jude, sorry, Kiara? Why not train her brother as well? Like, I found that strange. You find out why at the very end of the book in like the last 2 chapters. So anyway, the captain sees her and he's like, that's someone who can fight. She might actually be able to survive this. So he takes her, which I believe she's the first female knight in like, I want to say 100 years or something. I don't know. It's just not done. Um, but so he takes her, and her brother gets to stay behind and live. And we see letters from her brother to her that never got sent throughout the book, so we know kind of like how he's feeling and what happened to him. So Kiara goes off with Jude, and she's honestly quite happy about it because she was a pariah in her village, and what has she got to lose? And she can protect her brother this way, which is what she wanted. So they, are they're barely starting their training. They're not really trained yet, but then they get an assignment from the king that says it doesn't matter. We're running out of time. You need to take these recruits into the forest and find the 3 keys that will unlock the sun goddess again and bring the sun back, bring the light back. Because if you wait, we're all going to die anyway. So the mists and the forests are, there's horrible beasts and monsters in there, but in addition, the mists make you crazy and play tricks on your mind and make you see things that aren't there. It makes you turn on your brothers and think that they're enemies, and so on and so forth. So the mist is more deadly than the things that are in it. And now Captain Jude has to take these completely green recruits into the forest, knowing that it's a suicide mission, more or less. But the entire kingdom is relying on them to do so. So and meanwhile, he and Kiara are struggling against fatal attractions against each other. But he's her commander and they can't. It's just wrong. So that is our YA romance drama. And I liked the build up for the romance. I thought it was really well done. The slow pining and hinting. Once the romance kind of started, it became less interesting, but the rest of the story and the world conflict was so interesting that I didn't mind. The romance was a lot more of a, to me, felt a lot more of a subplot. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, and that was my review. Thank you for watching.